Okay, continuing on with Chapter 3. We're now ready to start coding. It says, open the code editing window. And the way you can do this is to simply double-click on one of these buttons. So it says the standard room. That opens the code window. Then it says go to the beginning of public and hit enter, actually hard return, and then you can put in the line of introductory comments. Comments start with a single apostrophe. I am going to copy them from off screen because I really don't think you want to be you want to watch me typing all of this stuff, do you? Okay, program name, developer. Corrine Hoisington is the author of the textbook. You should put your name in there so we know it's yours when we print it out. Date, yes, I did code this in 2010. Purpose. Now notice that the way they code it, they have real stubby little lines. Feel free to use longer lines. They can go about out to column 96, I think, something like that, easily and print nicely. We are going to ask you to also put in an honesty pledge in all of your Visual Studio work. You don't have to unless instructed for the Excel and the Access, etc. We want you to get used to coding it because in the next semester it is a requirement. I don't know, but it's a severe penalty if you don't have it in and if you don't tell the truth. So in mine, just word it in your own words, who helped you with it and who you worked with. Notice that the specs say that you may work together on these. You just need to do your own typing. All right. So there's those comments, and that zips us over to step 7 on 168. Let me show you how you could enter things. I'm going to just copy and paste the comments. All right. Again, I made them sensible instead of stubby. Now, when they start entering code, they say type pick, and look what happens. It takes you down to a IntelliSense thing where you can arrow down and then tab, and it brings it up. So we want pick the standard room dot, then brings you to it brings you to a list of the properties that are available. You would typically hit the first letter, maybe 2 or 3. If it's highlighted, you hit tab. So get used to doing that. It's very left-hand intensive, but you can construct these commands very easily without typing everything. I'm especially appalled when I see international students attempting to type all of this stuff. Oh my goodness. Please use these smart things so that you can get by the language spelling difficulties. So the next one is to make the deluxe room not visible. So let's just go through that. See if we can figure it out without reading. Pick deluxe room dot visible tab equal true. Notice I didn't put a space, but as soon as I put enter, it fixes it. And then finally is the one about enabling the select button, because you okay. There is one other requirement that I have, and that is that you put side comments on. You need to explain to me what's going on. You only have to have a single quote. I personally put a single quote and an asterisk so that it points it out to me that this is a comment. I want you to put comments on these early ones It's been my experience, having had the same problem for, what is it, 6, 7 years now. There are many students haven't a clue what they're doing. And this is a requirement. Now, you do not have to have a blank line. You may have a blank line, but I definitely want lines in between the two subs. Now, let's talk about this a minute. Private sub to end sub. This is a section of code that will be executed when you click on the standard room button. See that? You know what? We don't need this toolbox anymore. I'm going to close it. We'll get to see more code that way. Notice over here on the right side it says, this routine is for the purpose of handling button standard room dot click when the button standard room is clicked. So I'm going to add the rest of my code off screen and then come back and we'll show you what you need to do to test it. Okay, we're back. Just a little bit of cleanup here. So there's the button select room. Then the finished code is on page 177. I personally would have done the button deluxe room before button select room, just because it is likely that you would be hitting it before the select button, but that's okay. They're all kind of an equal level here. I'm going to clean it up. Notice that I expressed that this one disables 3 buttons, hides the instructions, shows the confirmation message, and allows the user to exit. So those are some side comments I put in. The other comments, I chose not to make them the short stubby ones. The reason they do that is because in the pages before 177 they don't have a full screen, so they kind of need to make them stubby so that they fit. That's the only reason. Yes, help me save paper and paging and run the computers out. About out to handles is a good spot, and see that's in column 97. That's why I said 96. Alright, so I'm ready to run it and test it. Okay, there's disabled standard room. Oops! Something's wrong. For standard room, I am not hiding that room. Okay, let's select a room and exit. Well, that's good. So, standard room button, what did I do? Oh, I should have said false here. Okay. Much better. All right. You will save your project one more time. Totally exit out of Visual Basic. Remember that your hotel room folder was here. Another technique that some people do is to bring those pictures right into the folder here. Not a bad idea. But anyhow, right mouse button, send to compressed zipped folder. We cannot accept the RAR type of files. We must be able to have one. WinZip is the best one for us. And then you would go into Blackboard and just submit it. Okay? See you in the next video for just a little hint